Good morning. Today is November 8th, 2017, 8 o'clock in the morning. Happy birthday, Lottie. So I wanted to videotape, what I'm going to bring to the district court today to get some orders of protection against Chief Michael McFadden, Belfast, Maine, Chief of Police, City Hall, City of Belfast Police Department, Mike Hurley, City Council, because they arrested me a couple nights ago, and hit me with all these cease harassment notices. And I've never been arrested. I never break the law, or I'm law abiding. Couple hiccups, but nothing big. Speeding, that's it. When I was 17 in the 1967 429 dual exhaust suicide door T-Bird. Yeah, man. It's right here, actually. These are my old buddies in Bayside. Laura is right here. Sarah's in the middle, and Pat. And there's my beastie, $300. My first car, 5'2", couldn't even see over the steering wheel. In 1977, my father had just died from cancer. Anyway, all right. So McFadden's into the internet, CMP powers, deleting my blogs, deleting my YouTube videos and stuff with the incriminating police. Like how many? He's just picking out a couple, but I mean it's endless how many there are. And I've got them all, the originals, and I made a movie. So the movie's going to be on top of my blog to watch that just over the past 4 months, and it's about an hour and a half or so, and tons of short clips of videos of the cops coming at me, Cameron paving, big meat coming at me, and yeah. So this is what I have to, I'm going to present with my protection orders, which the cease harassment notices that they sent after me, that they gave me, they're not even legal. You can't tell me. I couldn't even go to City Hall and pay my taxes. And Slocum, the city manager, was like, the police said I needed to contact him to make a drop of my property taxes. And he denied it. Told me to mail it. I told him the post office has been tampering my mail since 2011. I'm not going in there. Send somebody outside to meet me, but he wouldn't. So I had to send it out registered. Anyway, all right, so, I mean, this is just one little piece. 7 years of this. I can't cover everything on this, but it's all on my blogs. Documented, videotaped. Man, I did it right. They have violated every civil rights, bashing beyond books, hate crimes, terrorism, trespassing, many attempted thefts of my boat and trailer, mauling my boat, slicing the valve off my tire, slicing my new boot lock to stop repeated thefts, assaults by Mark Cameron and workers to me and my property, on my property, 17 Seaview Terrace, Cameron's doing the construction, no planning board approval, blah, 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 on abutting property. 23 Seaview Terrace, where they need 20 feet of my property because the garage is on the property line, not in compliance. And then my house wouldn't be in compliance. Ain't happening. So, here I'm going to notate where I've putting copies in with what I present to the courts today. So here will be a copy of my cease harassment video at the Belfast Police Department after months of emailing Chief McFadden for the protection of weeks of escalating hate and terrorist crimes by Mark Cameron Paving, and workers, and all connected, and owning 23 Seaview Terrace, Belfast, Maine. Also videos of Cameron's twisted worker giving me the finger and call me a bitch. Cameron's called me fucking bitch, and right in front of his son. Anyway, and for 7 years, I've CC'd all emails, everything I can, blogs out there protesting, emails of statutes, ordinances, FOIA requests, corruption, 7 years and counting, from Belfast to Augusta to Attorney General, running for governor this year or next year, Attorney General Janet Mills. And her law firm in Farmington, and all of them, they refused to even meet with me for a consultation. I reached out to them, 5 years ago. So, the CCs are like, it's the 92 heartless arteries of an epic network of hate and terror. I mean, there is no doubt about it, and everybody knows. Well, not everybody knows, but many do. McFadden has been privately, remotely accessing, editing, deleting my computer tower, YouTube channel, blogs, email, private family pictures, communications, etc. McFadden unable to terrorize me into compliance, 7 years and escalating. Immediately targeting my children and face-to-face threats to me and my children. McFadden and then Belfast Police Officer Wendell Ward, now Maine State Police Detective for Internet Porn, interning into McFadden's 6 shoes, because that's where he came from when he came on as the chief of police. And go to the Bangor Daily News, I think it was in 2010, he got an article where he came on as Belfast chief of police. And Peter Tabor of Searsport, who is an activist, owns this great campground down there with his wife, all organic, holds these yarn things, blah, blah, blah. He wrote in the comments that McFadden is a knuckle-dragging thug, and that his father, a well-respected Belfast police officer, must be spinning in his grave at how his son turned out. And he said, but why ask me? I've only been a reporter for the Belfast Police Department news for 35 years, did he say, or 40? I think it's 40. And then another guy writes, he falsely beats confessions out of people. Just ask Mike Hall. I think he was from Searsport. I was out there protesting one day, and his father pulled up and started saying, whoa, you know what you're doing out here? So anyway, so now we got McFadden and his protege Ward stalking me. So they have stalked me into private, right outside City Hall meetings, where I've been speaking open to the public, and since the get, they've been trying to get me out of there with police force and City Hall intimidation, city attorney letters like, don't come back. We ain't helping you, we ain't giving you no goddamn documents. Just for the development. Show them that they're fucking flooding us, excuse me. Okay, so they follow me outside City Hall and into my home, 7 years and counting, to hurt my children. Attempting to intimidate us with anonymous tips that I am unstable, and continuing orders to back off of City Hall and be... I need my glasses. I can't read my writing. It was hard yesterday writing all this, going over this again and again. And be concerned for your children. So yeah, they both came to my house in here, knocked on the door. I let him in, came out here. My son was here and stuff, brought him in. I said, do we need to talk outside? And this was in, 2013, something like that? 2014? And that's when he said, we have a tip, you're unstable. And then when he couldn't rattle me then he said, he started going on about how if he was a parent, a mother, and in this dilemma that I was, he would really focus on being a better parent. And, he has a dangerous line of duty, so he knows how his children are feeling. But, and then started telling me I better be concerned for my children. And Ward did the same thing to me outside a few weeks earlier, as I came out of a city council meeting at nighttime alone with no one around. Except Ned Leitner, who I grew up with in Bayside, and he's actually right next door here, and he does the actual videotaping of the city council meetings. And he even came out, I'm sorry, Ned, but you did. And just like totally cut right into us and started like really abusing me. And then walked away when, I just came back with truth like I always do. So, anyway, where are we? Both of these law enforcement officers, following Belfast City Manager Joe Slocum, City Attorney Bill Kelly, City Council, and that's all he is, and prior, for as long as I've been here, since 2010. Mayor Ash, he's been here through the whole hell. Public Works Director Bob Richards. Planning Code Officer, Enforcement Officer Todd Rosenberg. Assistant Planner Sadie Lloyd. Tax Assessor Brent Martin. And with Maine Health right here in my backyard, 100 feet away. Dynamiting. And I have emails documentation on all this stuff. With Maine Health dynamiting, actually Maine Health, it's Waldo County General Hospital, they're part of Maine Health. Blasting dynamite, demolishing acres of forest wetlands, habitat, flooding, and committing inverse condemnation to our small, lovely home, where we clawed to what we thought was safety 7 years ago, making it out against all and all. And that is so sadly true. Waldo County General Hospital placing thousands and thousands of gallons of propane, not caged, and without planning board or DEP, EPA, or FEMA approval. But with their blessings, with their mob mentality blessings. Less than 100 feet from our sanctuary to be safe and under all radar. Planning board member Wayne Corey said that the highest desecrating propane tank explosion is the 2 to 3 times per week fill-up connections in my backyard for over 12 2,000-gallon tanks lining my backyard. No planning board approval, so. In sync, 7 years and counting of Belfast City Hall's non-stop assault to us, our home, property, private belongings, our neighborhood, my children's lives and education, brutally burying me in several mailboxes with every flake of snow and ice boulders into life-threatening intent and malice as we keep hanging on. I have to check my camera. I think it only goes for 5 minutes. Oh, we're still going. Okay. That's my mother's clock. I've had it since it's born. McFadden, Slocum, and Belfast City Hall have and continue to hunt me. Until a few months ago, my health is a gift. My Obama doctor is Mollison, blasting me to near death. I can see his office from my windows. Right here. I'm looking right at his office right there. How's that? Knowing harm was ordered, I pay and stay away from all. 3 years as of September 2017. My health shut me down. 8 hours after shutdown, alone with my beagles, not one lifelong, wide-spend friend that I still love will stand. Gifted with one true love, immune to the mob. Near death in my driveway for over an hour, I was thankful my neighbor was outside to give my guy my final wishes, and at peace knowing he would not find me stone cold blue. We got to St. Joe's in Bangor emergency room at approximately 11 p.m., nearing complete shutdown, and a brief synopsis to the ER doctor of terrorizing torture by all those killing our children with first-hand dying speech accounting. The eye-popping ER doctor agreed. Possible aneurysm and lights out yesterday. With 1,000% vitals and clarity, he ordered the CAT scan. All's well. All the sick complete their hate to take me and leave nothing of me to heal my children. And the next part's about Mark Cameron. I have a boatload of videos to put in with this as a link. So, Mark Cameron, with his entire wall of pink, blue, and white collars from Belfast to Augusta, are driving their death stake. Full wild mallet throttle, again and again. 6'5" is he? 6'6", I don't know. 300 pounds of rage, anger. Mark Cameron is psychotic to end me. Joyzy. 5'2", 120 pounds, 56-year-old, single, below poverty, unemployed, honest, loyal, and fun mom. Last week, with clear final malice, Cameron vaults onto my property for the 50th time, 50th assault, always with hate, rage, and excited to tower over me and hurt me. He pummels his stake 20 feet into my private property. Belfast police officer Rollison witnessed with blessings and intense intimidation, misuse of force, removing my personal property on my property while abusing me, fully cognizant of my recording camera, the blue taking down one mom who is not afraid to die. I should be dead from the hate and terrorism or McFadden's 7-year hit. I do not own any firearms and always obey and respect the law. Last week, Mark Cameron ordered one of his, and I'll have a video here too. This one's actually where he has his worker back this huge friggin' construction trailer of his onto my property, 20 feet. I mean, they're just coming and saying, that's ours, we don't care. And the city tax assessors took all my footage off the sides of those properties and that one, the abutting lines, and saying, oh, we got 12 changes for Seaview. Developed in 1965. I have the original plans also taken out of the deeded registry. Thank you, Bob Whiteley, city tax assessor, for 20 years, and he was on his way out. He gave me those plans, and he says what's coming down the pike for Belfast is beyond horrendous. And that's what they're doing. Removing all the original plans, changing everything, and replacing it with Mylar things, which I've told them a zillion times. A 5-year-old could draw better of the plans, subdivides, whatever. Everything that you would... Yeah. So last week, Mark Cameron ordered one of his workers to take his heavy truck to get his enormous construction trailer and park it on 20 feet of my property. McFadden and Sheriff Trafton refused my proof of sexual torture letters via United States Postal Service, Rusty, ew, and laser beam hunting 24/7, 7 years, and still trying to kill me. They refused my pleas for protection. McFadden committing civil rights, rapid fire, status quo, to sending kids again and again to fulfill his self-hate that will never fill unless by true will. 4 to 5 months of media documentation, 24/7 times 35 weeks equals 5,880 hours of finish her off after 7 and counting years of terrorizing hate, unable to debilitate one little girl, standing to overwhelming gifts of Mother Nature, allowing me to protect and never enable. A few weeks ago, Mark Cameron delivered a bogus video of me pulling up the stake that he slugged into the ground, he pressing up against me and shoving his mallet into my thigh. I stood still and quiet. After he walked away, I pulled up his stake and tossed it onto the boundary line.